I'm calling the meeting to order at 9:35. In accordance with requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast over Lunenburg Public Access Channel. A recording of this meeting will be available on Lunenburg Public Access YouTube channel within 24 hours. Announcements. I do have an announcement so that you do not hear it somewhere else. Pete has been diagnosed with a brain tumor. It has to come out. We're working on that with Mass General. I'm going to need some assistance with some things, particularly working on the parking lot. So I may be calling on some of you to help out with that. I received a doodle bug, whatever that is, for appointments for Sue, the interviews for Sue's replacement. I gave the information as best I could about my availability and asked for some flexibility, and the response was I could get a substitute that would be available for all appointments. I have not done that at this point because I have no appointments, and I'm assuming that this needs to be done quickly. So I'm going to continue, but that was a week ago and I have no appointments scheduled. So at this point, there are no appointments scheduled for interviews for Sue, so I'm going to continue. So that's that. Anybody else have any announcements? No. Okay. Moving on to any public comment. I don't see any public, so no public comment. Any board comment?
So, I believe it was the last meeting, this was all around the time that we didn't know what would happen when you called 911 and an ambulance would come. So I had reached out to Senator Cronin's office, and then they referred me to the fire department. So at that time, I was told that if you call, the first place the ambulance would take a patient would be to Leominster Hospital. However, if you wanted to go somewhere else, they mentioned Clinton. And now I've just heard that they can also...
Chief Gamble at the State Trooper, which he's no longer the chief, said that they would take you to Emerson also.
Okay.
No.
So there's some options for people that call the ambulance and not happy with the hospital that they're going to take them to.
I just have one comment, and it's important to know that Clinton Hospital does not have cardiac services.
Yeah, so there would be a...
So if you're having a heart attack or a problem
They
like
can
that, you
definitely
would
go
not
on
want to go there.
sure.
I think he told me if it was a cardiac issue, they take you straight to Worcester.
Yeah, they do.
They
Yeah.
do,
They
and that's
don't
true, I
even,
forgot that.
they don't
Okay.
even bring you to the,
Right,
Yeah.
my
Okay.
husband had a heart attack wherever he was, and the ambulance brought him to a location, and the helicopter came right and picked him up and brought him right to UMass. So they don't even...
Okay, good to know.
Any other updates from the last meeting that you would like to share?
I had mentioned that when you get your new information from your drug plans, don't panic. Mine went up substantially, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, they cut the Medicare costs on some drugs, so this is their way to get you. But if you go in the Medicare.gov website that you created when you first went on Medicare and plug all your information in, even though my premium had gone up like $30 or $40, over the course of the year, it was only about a $10 difference that it was going to cost you because there are caps. So don't panic. Go in and look at it. You may not have to change. You know, it'll depend on your circumstances, but it's not as bad as it seemed.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to share? Okay, we received, or Caesar received, a communication from a citizen and shared it with me I can't pull it up on Outlook, I'm still struggling with Outlook.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah. if-
Okay, sure. So this is about the Mart warrant article at special town meeting. She watched a recording that I did with Carter about the warrant articles, and she had a question about it. So she wrote, "Please tell me why you would specify we will be extending the normal 20-mile limit to go to Emerson Hospital, when so many of us need to go to other hospitals such as those in Worcester, 21 miles for your information. With the closing of area hospitals and the limited services provided by others, our doctor's appointments are also now located in Worcester. I've been trying to persuade Mark to extend their services for over a year now, and nobody's listening. Maybe you will. I don't drive after dark, so I won't be at town meeting. Please speak for me and other senior citizens. I would appreciate hearing back from you about this matter." So I responded, and I won't read it, but basically I said, yeah, that sounds absolutely reasonable. Let's reach out to Mart and see what they say. So we did do that, and we haven't received a response yet, but
I did reach out to Scott Rich, who does the Mark Connect program, and gave him, actually, the selectman's office gave me mileage from the furthest points in all of Lunenburg to go to the other hospitals. And I forwarded it to him, and I asked him to take a look at it and ask Mart if they would consider doing that. So I will see Scott Rich tonight. He will be at the meeting tonight, and see if he has any answers for us.
And I did also send the email over to Representative Scarsdale too, just to maybe get some advocacy from her on it as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but hopefully they understand that I think it's reasonable. They're willing to go to Emerson. You know, Worcester isn't that much farther, so.
I was going to ask if we can try, I mean, it's great that you reached out to Margaret, but maybe an appeal from all of us to our state delegations and saying, hey, you know, extending to Worcester is not that much more, so that they hear it's more than just one request coming from the select board member who probably has a lot of requests versus adding, you know, the weight of all of us.
That's a good idea. I think we should do it from the Council on Aging.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this too. We signed a petition, the select board, that ended up going to the governor when they closed Neshoba Valley. She ultimately decided to ignore it in her relief program, which was her prerogative for whatever reason. But I think if you guys, like as a board, like formally signed something like that and voted on it, and even send it to Mark as like a first step, you know, that could be something that maybe they would take into consideration.
And Senator Cronin and Kushmer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our entire delegation, I think.
I do want to caution people, Mark Connects is grant funded. It started off as a one-year grant, and that which ended on July 1st of 2024, and it had run from July 1st, 2023. I'm surprised that it went a little bit over, but it will be ending again in June. So it's not a guarantee that they are going to continue this program unless they receive another grant.
Right. Yeah, part of the reason why we have this warrant article is because that grant expired. So now the town has to fund it ourselves, which is really unfortunate, but.
One thing, you know, these grants tend to be is to create a funding mechanism that to engage demand. So I actually think that increasing demand, it shows that this is a needed service. So I would, you know, ask people to continue using and advocate for the expansion to Worcester, because if we show that it's demand, it will be really hard for them to not fund, knowing how many senior citizens are using specifically to go to hospitals.
Right, and I do have I did get the statistics from Mark, and Lunenburg was the biggest user of the Mark Connect by far. So, fingers crossed.
What was the statistics?
Out of Lancaster and I think it was Sterling and maybe Bolton, I'm not sure. I don't have them in front of me right now, but they were definitely.
Okay.
But they didn't give any age statistics either, because it's open to everybody. So that was kind of difficult to gauge how many seniors went, because they don't ask them for their dates of birth or anything like that. Like, I do know, like, one person took it multiple times for employment, and I would tend to guess that that was not a senior citizen. and there was a couple of younger ones that said like school, so they were getting picked up after school. But the majority of them, you know, the majority of it was employment for that person.
Yeah.
But there was like medical facilities, and I'm surprised it wasn't a lot, and there was like Walmart and things like that.
Okay.
But Lunenburg was definitely the highest user out of those communities.
I would imagine it would mushroom too after Neshoba closes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other board comment? I would like to ask if someone would like to spearhead this movement, maybe to come to write a petition of some sort that we could have for the next meeting. Is anybody willing to do that?
I can help out too with drafting it.
I can work on it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that would be awesome, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Susan and someone else volunteer, Jane and Steve, that would be great if you could work on that for the next meeting. Thank you. Okay, onward to a happier note. I'm wondering if anyone is interested in having our usual holiday party at the next meeting.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
It's always at parties at your meeting.
We do. We usually have a holiday party, and sometimes we incorporate a Yankee swap of ornaments. I don't know if you want to do that again as well.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So
But the party's after the meeting, right?
after the
Yes.
meeting. Yeah, after the meeting.
Yeah, not in place of.
Right.
Yes. Not in place of, no. So I don't know if someone wants to coordinate the food that we bring, or if you feel the necessity to do that.
We should.
Okay. So if someone wants to,
I'll do that.
okay, that would be awesome. Thank you. So we can talk about that after the meeting. Okay. So did you all have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Are there any comments about the minutes? Does anybody have a motion?
Just a quick comment.
Okay.
I had asked that we try to find who had received the Boston Post cane from 1909 to 1969, and I asked the Historical Society to help me out, and they found one person from 1954. So it's 5% of the way. That's a start.
I had a comment also. Was Michelle able to come up with our list of members?
I don't think she's done it yet.
Okay. Do you think we could have that for the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that would be great. With also with the term expirations on it,
Okay.
that'd be great. Okay, any other comments before do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, new business. Mark Connect article at special town meeting, which is tonight, and I hope you're all able to try to get there.
And I did ask Scott Rich from the Mark Connect program to come and speak to it if people had questions and stuff, so he's gonna meet me there at about 6:45 tonight.
If you're all familiar with this article, we should probably go over it briefly because,
I don't have it with
Who gave it to us?
me. Yeah,
well, for the public,
we should have it in the warrant.
Yeah.
you just want to, people don't read their warrants.
Way too complicated.
It's to see if the town will appropriate the sum of $20,000 to support the operation of Lunenburg Mark Connect Transportation Program. It's on behalf of the Montechusett Area Regional Transport Mart Organization administered by the Council on Aging to meet said appropriation, transfer said sum from the overlay surplus account. And so we really should support this. So please come and support this to help transport our elder community. All right.
If anyone needs a ride to town meeting tonight, my phone number is 617-501-6496. If it gets published before, I'm happy to do a few runs. I know a lot of people have concerns about driving at night, and I'm not sure Mark would be able to give all the rides. So, happy to give anyone a ride.
All right, there's also a special town meeting article, establishment of Lunenburg Council on Aging meal site revolving fund.
Yep. So the town accountant and myself have worked on this, and we want a revolving fund of approximately $10,000 in order for the kitchen to be able to purchase food supplies for the kitchen for the meals. And any funds that are taken in will be turned back into the town at the end of the week, like we do with any other funds that come in for anything. Some more has developed on that, not with the article itself, but I was concerned about, okay, how do we, if we don't have the cash to pay for it, what goes on with that? So they will be establishing a town credit card that will be held at the selectman's office. And it'll be, so the meal site manager will go up, check it out. She will be on a list of approved people to do it. It'll be the director, meal site manager, and the administrative assistant. And go make the purchases, go back with the credit card, bring the receipt back, and then return it in, I guess, with the revolving fund, what has been spent out of it. So they're also looking into to see if there's existing accounts with Hannaford, Market Basket, and BJ's. I don't know, but I think I remember years ago there was something with BJ's, so that would be helpful, because she does a lot over there too, because she can get a lot of bulk
Somebody
items.
had a BJ's card on the board, do you remember?
No.
And we used to they used to use it to go to BJ's. I don't remember what it was, but
I don't know, we
Yes.
never did that with us. I mean, I don't know why you guys would be purchasing stuff, but, yeah. But, it'll work out, it'll all work out.
So go to the town meeting and support these articles, please. We don't know what numbers they are, right?
So Mark Connect is 4, and the Council on Aging revolving fund is like 6 or 7, something like that. Yeah. Looked at it so many times.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so the process for director replacement, as I said, I filled out the doodle monkey or whatever that is. Whatever that is, they send it out and they say. Survey monkey. Survey
Oh,
monkey. Survey monkey. It's monkey anyway. And they ask when you're available for interviews, and I filled it out, but I have not heard, so at present, I don't believe there are any interviews scheduled, but they should be coming shortly, because Carter wrote back and said, we need to do this right away, and I said, yeah, we do.
The application has been posted, the position.
Yes.
Do we know how many applications there are?
I do not.
Oh.
I've only received the Survey Monkey, so I do not know.
Okay.
Was the invite to review resumes or to participate in the interview?
I assume it's because it's a Survey Monkey, so it was times
Right.
to interview. I assume it's just the interview process. So I guess the screening process has already happened.
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's,
I thought it was the screening group, that you guys were the screening group to wheedle
This
down to.
was times to meet
For
three
interview.
candidates,
Yeah.
so I guess that already happened. I don't know.
I don't know. I can ask if it's helpful.
well, I mean, in a way, I'm seeing that you're invited to the interviews, which was the goal,
Right.
ultimately.
But if that's
Well-
happening, then the screening
Screening's
already
already
happened.
happened.
Yeah.
Right.
My understanding of it was
That would be
you
an
and
screening.
the library director and the fire chief
Yeah.
were going to screen we're going to screen the applications and the applicants to wheedle it down to whatever they do, 5 or
Right.
whatever.
I've heard nothing but the Survey Monkey.
That might be a meeting of the screening committee.
So a
then.
couple,
Yeah,
a couple
It
of
might be.
things
Yeah.
could have happened. One is there was not enough qualified candidates because of the job application might have, X number of years of X and Y, Z. So we may have few enough applicants that there's no screening to be done.
That's
And they're jumping into, so it could be just people not have passed the requirements more than the 5 needed.
I don't know, but that's.
I'll
my-
call Julie
that's-
today and
that's
get that
my-
straightened out.
That's my update. And I haven't been able, I haven't had time, honestly, to push back much on this because we've been pretty occupied.
I was on the last 2 committees. We had 4 one time and 3 the other time.
Yeah, so it's possible.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Okay, so I will keep you posted on that when I hear more. Okay, we have some news on the Eagle House supporters.
Yes. Good news, hopefully.
Yes.
It was funny, one of our old Zumba instructors who had moved to North Carolina had been back up visiting with one of her friends and was talking to her, and we were discussing the Eagle House supporters and the dissolvement of it. And she looked at her friend and she said, "You could do this." And she said, "What? Me? What is it?" Long story short, it was explained to her what they were, and she said, "I'll think about it." And in the meantime, within a couple of days, she had gone out in her neighborhood with her friends and had gotten enough people together to get the Eagle House Supporters Board back up and running again.
Wonderful.
So, what they did was they met with the existing board, and, because they wanted to find out, what exactly was going on, what does it entail, because they weren't gonna, jump into it like that. And they came away with a good feeling, and they're gonna meet again here on, where is it? I think next week sometime. And they're going to discuss, okay, do we want to do this? Is this going to happen? And I think it looks good. And they are a group of people who are very civic-minded, and they're not afraid of using Venmo or PayPal to do things like that. And that board only meets 4 times a year, so it's an easy board. And they collect memberships, they collect donations in memory of people or for somebody's birthday or something. So I think it's going to work out pretty good. And I do like the people who are going on this board. I think that they're go-getters and not afraid to, make some changes and make it easier.
Great.
So that's good, because that's between $10,000 and $15,000 a year that we were going to be losing. And I was going to ask for a $15,000 increase in the program line, because we would not be able to do the programs that we do here without the funding from this group. So fingers crossed, I think it's going to go through, and I think it's going to work, and by the next meeting I should have an answer.
Great. Let's
So you
arrange.
usually get money from the Cultural Council for programs?
Yep. What happens is the performers call me and they say, do you want us to come back this year? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I send them a letter of support, and they send it to the Cultural Council. So for instance, on this paper right here, last year they gave us $1,400 for entertainment and
Good.
things like that, so.
All right, so that's some good news. So our COA Sunshine Fund, have we had more thoughts about, do we want to do that? Unfortunately, that information didn't get out to the public, but if we want to do that, it would be very nice if people were aware that we want to do that and would get to us with people who need some cheering up or some contact from us about our concern or our best wishes. I know a few of you had said that you would be interested in doing that, so since it's on the agenda, shall we take a vote on whether we'd like to do that? Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor of having a COA Sunshine Fund, club, or whatever we want to call it?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, is there anybody that would like to volunteer to head that up?
I guess I will.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I think what we need to do is make sure that anybody that we know about that needs some sunshine, get that information to Diane. We'll get some, I think Pete has a roll of stamps.
Did you know you can get rolls of stamps for about $39 a hundred?
I didn't know that.
That's- Yeah,
At the post office?
no, online.
Oh,
I did it for
online.
$5.99.
Oh.
100 stamps, and I did two,
And they're
you know,
legit?
yeah.
They are legit.
Yeah, the-
They are forever
It's
For
stamps.
some
on,
reason, they're getting rid of all
Facebook.
coils of stamps.
On Facebook?
Yeah, they advertise it on Facebook for the
I've seen it
stamps.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I sent and I got the stamps.
So we'll get you some
Doesn't roll that
stamps.
way.
So we need to remind people, Sue isn't allowed to give us information
Right.
because it's private. So if you have a family member or a friend that needs a little sunshine and would like to see them get a card from us, you need to reach out and provide us name and address so that we can do this. Because if you don't tell us, we'll have no way of knowing.
Can we put an announcement in the newsletter?
Yes, that'd be great.
The Women's Club already does this, so they get the information from the ladies so I could get it to you people.
Oh,
They already send out
That would be
That would be
birthday
wonderful.
cards and get well cards and whatever.
That would be wonderful.
The other thing we can do is ask a few things. We can ask the website person, Kara, to put a link with your email information, if you have someone who needs a sunshine card, send an email to this email address, and that can be the information that Sue adds to the newsletter
I
as
was
well.
gonna say, could they use my town email, or would it
Yeah.
have to be, that would be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so that would be an easy
Yes,
way to
that
get
would
the
be
information.
personal.
Well, that's what I
Yes.
figured.
That would be
That's
the
fine.
way. The other one, I'm not sure if would actually work just because of the demographics, but we can easily create like a Google form where it's a link posted so people can just click on it versus having to send an email. And we can have it posted as, on the website as well. And sometimes it's easier for people to send information with a click than it is for them to write an email and all that information.
That would be great.
I can create that and then share and that link can be posted as well.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
I guess I'm volunteering to do that.
All right.
I guess you did.
How kind for you to get all the information.
And for the non-tech savvy, if they called the office and said, we have this need, then you could relay the information
Sure.
to us, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Good. Thank you, everybody.
just for the non-computer people.
I think this
Yeah.
would be wonderful. I think there's a lot of people that still like to receive a piece of mail.
Oh, well, I've got it a few times with my niece, Pat sent, and it does cheer you up, it's nice, very
So-
nice.
Thank you, everybody,
Yeah.
for that. Okay, Tea Party recap. Well, first of all, I wish Helen were here because she was a whirling dervish. She was amazing. Not only did she do a stunning tablescape, but she provided the tea, she did all the baskets. She was just, I'm in awe of her. I want to grow up and be just like her. She was incredible. So thank you, Helen. When you come back, please watch this on YouTube, and here's to you. She was absolutely incredible. And we raised almost $3,000, pretty close to $3,000.
2,983. It would have been over 3,000, but they reimbursed for
For
some expenses and things.
And I just want to thank everybody who was involved because it was a really spectacular day. Almost everybody on the board was involved in some fashion. And thank you to everybody who was in the, what are we calling it, the Tea Guild?
The Eagle House Tea Party Guild.
Tea Party Guild. So thank you to the Guild and thank you to everybody who was involved. It was a very spectacular day. And I think everybody had a really, really good time.
So, Deb, how does that compare with like last year?
It was about $3,000 last year, wasn't it?
I think it was a little less last year.
Yeah, I was considering it was.
Absolutely, yes.
It seems to have gone up completely, I mean, every year. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I'd like to reach out to some of you listeners. This year was the first time that I've ever been involved in the tea, and I just couldn't believe the level of what was done for all those people that bought tickets. It was amazing. First class, from top to finish, everybody knew what they were doing. It was so well run. So if you haven't been to one of those teas, I saw all these ladies, they were dressed up and they were having a ball. So, and for the price, $25, it's a treat that you could do for yourself and a couple of friends, and I know you would have a good time. So if you haven't been, try it next year.
Get yours requested early, or people already booked.
Oh, really?
For next year.
it's true. Okay, so thank you to everyone who was involved from us for this amazing, I think this is our top fundraiser of the year, right? So-
Yeah, well, we don't fundraise, it's
No,
the
but I
Tea
mean-
Party Guild that does
No,
it,
but I
but
mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's for the.
That's right,
For
that's right,
us, not us, this group, but us, meaning
absolutely,
the center.
absolutely.
Okay, so a special town meeting tonight at 7 o'clock. For everybody that can possibly make it, please be there to support these two articles and participate in our wonderful chance at democracy. So, does Susan want to say anything else?
Not really. I mean, I don't know if you guys have really read the warrants, but I guess the other thing that I would like to plug is the salary administration plan
Yeah.
updates. There's a lot of good stuff in there, some recruitment incentives, things like the sick leave bank, so letting employees share their sick leave when they need it. There's a bunch of things. So right now, employees can't use any of their sick time for the first 6 months of their employment, which is ridiculous to me. So we're going to allow new employees to start with, I think it's 5 days of sick leave that they're able to use immediately when they start. So things like that that are just kind and common sense in my opinion. Recruitment incentives. So right now, no matter how much experience you have when you start a job with the town, you start with the same amount of vacation time. So we're allowing people who come in with a lot of experience to have a little more vacation time at the beginning. Just a lot of stuff like that. Paying for jury duty, which is something that we don't do. So a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff
we
like
do.
that.
That's required.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or it's something, I don't know exactly what's in there, but yeah, there's something for jury duty in there too. Maybe it's just actually putting it in the salary administration plan.
I don't know, but I think it's a law, you
I
have
think
to.
it's
Well,
a state
yeah.
law.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some differential then, which is, I don't know, the specifics of it. But yeah, a bunch of stuff like that, so.
Okay, thanks. So hope to see you all there. All right, and all you out there in television land as well, if you can possibly make it, please try to do that. Okay, current business, updating the fiscal year 26 COA budget requests.
Yes. So I still have not received the formula grant annual report from the state yet. And I asked the person in Executive Office of Elder Affairs when that will be arriving, because I'd like to get it done, because it always needs, when multiple people are entering in things, it needs to be corrected in the right order. And he told me sometime around Thanksgiving. So,
Which means Christmas.
I'm trying real hard. So in the meantime, I put together some statistics from FY24 and FY23 to show people what we've done. And you can see on, I know you guys are front and back on this one, but we've definitely gone up in services. If you look at the FY24 compared to the FY23, we had, FY24, we had 1,259 people utilize our services here. In FY23, we had 1,124. Some things had gone down in the meals, for instance, and I know exactly what that's from. is because the Thursday meals, when we discontinued bingo on the Thursday, it went down slightly. But it's picking up again because the quality of the meals have really stepped it up. I know Anna was here last week.
It was delicious.
See?
I want to have a standing in for Tuesday morning.
But, so that's changing too. I mean, with everything, you're gonna have some ups and some downs on that. But everything has gone up. I mean, in events like that could be anything from cribbage to bingo to musical events, things like that. In FY24, we had 1,013 people attend. In FY23, we only had 882. So we definitely stepped it up in the programmers. There's just all different services on there. The rides, they went down a little bit, probably due to Mark Connect. Services can be outreach services such as Shine appointments, Sand for Seniors, things like that. We went up on that. Volunteers look like it went down, but it really did not. I figured out this year that, for instance, the Eagle House Tea Party Guild, they don't sign in for all the stuff that they do. So this year, what I did was I grouped them into one big category, Eagle House, and I put all the hours into that, you know. So, and that goes with other things too that people do. But that's something that's just gonna have to change. I mean, if they don't sign in, they don't sign in, but it's a shame to lose those hours that they all donated because it's amazing what they do. And logs, that's telephone calls coming in. I think we're a little lax this year in recording them when they come in, but we're straightening that out as we speak. So, the age ranges underneath that, that speaks for itself. People age 55 to 59, that accounted for 3.7% of the 1,259 people. Ages 60 to 64, 7.5% of that amount. 65 to 69, 17.9%. You can see where this is going and how many people are actually coming here. 70 to 74, 18.3%. 75 to 79, 14.7%. 80 to 84, 15.8, below 55, 4.6, and over 85, 17.5%. And these numbers all come from the My Senior Center software, and these are what we use for the report that goes to Executive Office of Elder Affairs. Another interesting fact is the number of residents that come in from Lunenburg, 75.1% of that, and out of town is 24.9% of that number, because we have a lot of people from out of town come in here too. A daily check-in, we can do that too, just it's kind of a fun fact to see what the average is. So over that last fiscal year of FY24, it seems like Tuesdays were the biggest day here with 73.35% people checking in. And you know, the numbers are right there. Mondays 52.89, Wednesdays 55.29, Thursdays 53.68. And Friday's a little bit less because we tend to have like 1 or 2 programs that day. And the average by month, that just speaks for itself also. And then we did a little, you wanted to know about COA budget donations, grants, and how much facilities contributes. So the COA gift fund in FY24 brought in $12,016 in donations. The Eagle House supporters contributed $15,000. The Lunenburg Cultural Council grants, we had $1,400 in grants from them. a SIG grant, which is a state incentive grant, $3,648, which was used to do the handicap doors in the back to go out to the patio. In kind, that's always hard to track. That could be anything from people donating puzzles to donating books to donating food and other supplies. And that was approximately $6,644. Facilities last year kicked in $73,187.85 to this building. We received $43,680 in formula grant funding, and the COA budget last year was $229,067. And just on the bottom of that, I put in for the budget for FY25, COA budget was $241,221.20. Formula grant went up to $46,800. The supporters committed $10,000 this year rather than $15,000. And the gift fund balance right now that we have is $7,181.95. But according to the town accountant, we have more than that in there. My numbers are not the same as his. I tend to trust my numbers, because I know when we were getting grants in to do the pavilion and things like that, things were going into different accounts, so I'm playing it safe rather than sorry, and I don't want to go over what's going on there. ARPA funds, we have received and spent $5,249.76. So that's how my report would go, without a whole bunch of pages to it. But I thought it was good to compare the stuff from last year, from the FY23 year also.
So can I have some questions?
Mm-hmm.
The $73,000 was just, it's not a recurring amount, it's what it was spent here last year for FY24, right?
Right, to take care of, and that includes painting, shoveling, landscaping, anything, any repairs here, heating, air conditioning, electricity.
Okay.
Yep.
So, for point of information, I took the FY25 COA budget, 241,
Mm-hmm.
and that 241 includes the grant, the supporters fund, and the gift fund, is that correct?
No,
No?
No.
So the 241,
that's the municipal budget that we
So-
work on. It's mostly salaries.
sure.
Yeah,
So the formula grant is on top of that 241?
right.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, and supporters is on top. All the other stuff beneath it is on top of it.
Gotcha. I just needed to. All right.
So, oh, go ahead, Emma.
Well, I'm just getting an average of what we're spending per usage. 241,000 divided by 945. So we're spending per user $255 a year per 945. And these are the kind of services that we can actually absorb more people, so it's a really good price. Now, if you divide 255 by how many days it seems that the center was open, we have about $1 a day per citizen that we're supporting. So I just want to show how, because seeing $240,000 seems like a big number, but it's really, we're talking about, returning back $1 to each citizen that comes in here.
Right.
So out of all of our taxes that we pay, I just want to give that, all of our 6,000 plus taxes. By the way, the Lunenburg average single-family home taxes is a little north of $6,000. So if that person decides to come to Lunenburg Senior Center, there you go, house, adult activity center, whatever name we want to go, you're going to be getting about $1 back a day. That's it.
Okay, well, good stats to have.
I was just.
Very good.
That's
awesome, thank you. Are we hearing that? Everybody that needs to hear that, finance committee, capital planning committee, select board?
bargain we are.
I know. Look at the services we give
No
for
kidding.
$1 a day. Wow.
Best buy for your buck.
I think so, and you know, that was another question, how accurate are these numbers? Because do you feel like our group,
They're as accurate as they possibly can be. People come in and that's why they sign in with their card, and every time they come in, they sign in. If they don't, we catch them usually,
We
and
do,
we can
okay.
manually put them in. And new people, we put in all the time, and yeah,
that's
they're
good.
pretty accurate.
They're very accurate, that's good.
But that's what the state gets for the numbers, so. And before I leave, I'd like to make an appointment to go to the Board of Selectmen, just to give them those numbers. And I'm gonna say that, dollar too. That's right, that's right.
Put it back, right?
So, and it's just like, I know usually I used to have it all in like, a lot to
Yes.
look at. I thought this was much easier to
This
look
is
at
good. This is great.
and compare those numbers to it. I mean, it's not
Yes.
gonna be a giant presentation because I don't have time for that.
No, it's excellent.
Okay, parking lot is a separate line item, so we'll take that up. Are we still, everybody had a chance to look at the resource guide for Council on Aging, or are we still waiting to go through that?
I thought it was excellent, and I would recommend that, all new members of the council get a copy,
Oh, for sure. For
as a
sure.
regular procedure, in addition to our own rules and orientation package.
I agree with that 100%. Everybody on board with that? Is there anything from that that you think that we need to put into our own packet to kind of highlight in our own packet? Because it's a lot. And
No, I think our packet kind of streamlines it, and it's more specific. I think I'd leave that alone, but just add this for new members, and I think they're gonna have more information than they probably thought they would.
All right, everybody feel the same way? Because this packet is a ton of information.
But it's well done.
It's really well
it
done.
is.
It's well organized.
Right, and I don't think you should reinvent the wheel with the
Right.
Lunenburg one.
Just want to make
because
sure
that's-
everybody feels the same
Yeah, I
way.
agree.
Okay, all right, so we're good on that.
Now, what is our mission, excuse me,
Go ahead.
is our mission statement the same as this, to help older adults maintain their independence, health, and well-being while living in their communities for as long as possible, or? is it-
Every council on aging has a different mission statement.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so this is the sort of.
That's
That's
broader.
the state.
Okay.
Ours is, the mission of the Lunenburg Council on Aging is to advocate for improved quality of life for all seniors through supportive services, programs, and education.
I like ours better. All right, so we'll do that. We'll give 2 handouts to every new member, and they can take that big one and digest it
Yeah.
a little at a time, because it's a lot. All right, parking lot update.
I spoke to Chris this morning, he said it was given to, he presented it to capital plan, and there it sits. So he did not have an update on it.
Okay. I
Um,
had
It's
some,
here or there or where.
I had some communication with Carter, and I need to get with Chris, because there's a circular something going on about, it's kind of chicken and eggish. And I'm not really sure where we sit, because he's thinking that we need to get some things that I'm not understanding the order of what we need to do. I thought we needed to get a plan, but there's something that's out of sync, so I need to get with Chris as well. But it has been submitted to the budget, so that's step 1, I guess.
Just like to say, just for the fun of it, I picked up one of my early reports when I first came on here from 2008. Sue, Judy was still here. the main topic of conversation in that meeting was the parking lot. That's 4 presidential elections ago. For 16 years, we've done nothing. We really need to step that up.
I
Put some
don't,
pressure on, get this done, because it's sooner or later, somebody's gonna get killed out here.
I'm trying to find, my, so Carter's talking about having a meeting with surrounding neighborhoods with a publicly noticed neighborhood meeting.
About the parking lot?
Yeah, a public input session on the future of the playground. He's talking about, topography survey, test pits for soil conditions, conceptual design, and cost estimates. Before we go any further.
So public meeting, basically.
Yeah.
Yep, so I said I thought we needed to have the design first. So I don't know what's in this budget at this point and what procedures we have to go through.
Well, really, it's just up to the capital planning now and
I
that
guess,
process.
I
And I did
guess.
watch that meeting, and I know at least one member spoke highly of this project and said it should be prioritized. I don't know about the rest of the members,
Yeah.
but I mean, if it gets selected for it, then I guess we just move forward. I don't know how much any of that is really required.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm very confused about this neighborhood meeting and all this business. So
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where we stand on this, so
Mhm.
we're gonna, I guess,
I guess that's just like his opinion of how you guys should move forward. You know, once it's submitted to the capital planning process,
then
it's there, you know?
I guess
So.
so. That's why I'm sort of up in the air on this. So capital plan, see what capital
Mhm.
plan does, and then go from there.
Yeah.
All right, I just wanted to update you on what's been communicated to me, and it's a little confusing, so I think we'll wait. I guess that's
Yeah.
the best thing to do. Okay, ARPA submissions.
Yep. Okay, 3:50, 45 minutes. So, that's lunch. Lasagna's in the fridge.
All right,
I made it this week.
all right. See where we're losing, folks.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, the kiosk has arrived. It's waiting to be assembled because I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, that's what's on the porch.
Yes, and the rocking chairs are all assembled and on the porch. It's waiting to be assembled because the roof is getting done this week, and they're gonna be throwing all the stuff off of the roof. And that's only gonna take them a few days, but we don't want it to get damaged and be in the
Right.
way.
Right.
But that's gonna be a really good thing because we don't have the message board out there anymore. And we don't have to trudge through the snow. Jim doesn't have to trudge through the snow in the winter and freeze and have the thing come down and hit him on the head all the time. And so it's 3-sided. It'll be right out in front of the big window where people sit in Bucky's Corner. So people can still get around it with wheelchairs, snow blowers, and they'll be able to see. And we've moved the bench up onto the porch for the winter. And I'll probably just leave it there because in the summer it's too hot to sit out there in the sun waiting for the bus, and you can sit in the shade on the porch.
All right, before Sue starts with the director's report, I don't know if anybody's seen the Darth Vader thing that's sitting out in the back.
Yep, that's on here.
It's on there, but if you haven't yet been horrified by this new thing that's going to, I think, run the entire town, take a look after she reports on it.
Yeah. The generator's here.
The generator
It's supposed to be for the Pentagon.
Yeah, exactly.
to kill our generators. It's not exactly what we expected, I don't think,
But that's what I was told.
Yeah.
This is what the purpose of it is for. This is what you get. So anyways,
Take a look.
we're just waiting on the generator company to come out and start it up. They worked on it again yesterday when the building was closed because they had to shut the whole power grid down and everything like that.
Shut the whole town
The whole
down.
grid down, yeah. And I was talking to Chris this morning, and I think that if there's still money left in ARPA funds, which I know that there is, we can get, to hide that monster out there, we'll contact our fence person and have him do a nice stockade fence around it, but the smokestacks on it. I don't think there's too much we can do about that, but it'll be protected and it won't be so, look like a big robot out there.
Robot is an understatement.
It's really that bad?
It's huge.
Go take a look.
Yes.
It's, what is it, about the size of the
I don't know, it's
space
big.
between these tables?
It's big, it's big.
That'd be a target for kids' vandalism too.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's huge.
Well, that was my concern also, and Chris said that they can't get into it, they can't flip switches, it's all contained.
Yeah.
And-
Spray painted.
Yeah, no, of course, they'll put eyes on it, and stuff like that,
They'll turn it into a monster.
We shouldn't be saying that.
No, we should erase that,
Just giving hints.
Cut that part.
Exactly. I think he's gonna suggest, the fence person's gonna come out anyways, and take a look at it, and so it won't be so hideous.
It's pretty scary.
It is scary, it is scary.
They say be careful what you ask for.
That's right, that's what I said to Sally, I took a picture and I said, be careful what we wish for. But the good news is, if we have a huge power outage within the town like we did in the big ice storm or anything like that, especially in the winter time, we will be able to be a warming station. We won't be able to be a full-blown shelter because we do not have a shower here. And I think I mentioned at the last meeting that that's a whole different animal with getting that in here, and especially into a historic building and where it would go. And that would be very expensive. So that would be for somebody else down the road next on the list to make that happen. But that generator would be sufficient to do an overnight shelter if need be. It's just we are not allowed to do that at this current time because of the bathroom situation. So the other thing that it's going to do is with the fire suppression system, during the big ice storm, when the power goes out for an extended period of time, you have to go down and manually pump it, the fire suppression. If not, it builds, and then it spills over everywhere, which happened in the big ice storm, and it flooded everything in the basement. And in the meantime, there was, so many other things going on in the town that nobody, forgot about that, so that won't happen now. It's very good thing. So that's the plus for the generator. It's just pretty big, that's all. Roof repair is going to start this week, and they will put up staging for people to walk underneath, so when things are flying off the roof, they won't get hit. Because as we know, the last time we did roof repair, we had to hire a police officer to come, because we had do not enter the store, and people were just going right by the sides, not caring. So at least they'll be protected. Flooring that we discussed, that will be probably in the next round of capital plan requests. I spoke to Chris about the kitchen, and it's not looking good for this year. He says, but there's always hope, but already they're almost in the middle of the school year, so at Monty Tech. So I tend to doubt it because they already have their projects for their year and set in place, and it's not us. On the bocce court, the sign came in, beautiful sign,
Yeah, but.
but
Yeah, but.
Mario's last name is spelled wrong.
Oh,
So, and Mario went out and saw it last week.
oh, jeez.
It didn't say a word, and his son was with him, and I never even noticed it till I went out to snap a picture of it to put it on Facebook and went, oh. So, it's going to be replaced again, so thank you to Mike Nault.
Word.
Let's see. Outdoor electrical, once again, this coming spring in 2025. The window washing came in, they did a great job on the windows, he has to come back and finish. I've never seen them so clean, ever, here. I think they've been washed once since I've worked here.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. But he's only half done, and that's why the screens are against the windows out there. He is coming back, though. Upcoming events.
Do we have any word on the shades for the big room?
Oh, yes, that's right. I contacted the shade people that were supposed to go to the library. She told me that they weren't going to do the library because it was too high for them, too high up, so they're not going to do it. So I asked if they could come here, and I took pictures of it, and she said our little windows are too high up and they're not going to do it. They're just not going to take it on, period. Yeah. So we'll have to come up with a plan B.
Okay.
Another company?
Another company, I'll have to look and see who else is out there. But, yeah,
What kind of company does
There's
that?
a company.
a window shade company,
They obviously don't do
Window World or
town
something.
buildings.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah, they must just do homes.
And I don't know if they're gonna do like below at the, but they flatly refused to come here, so once they looked at the pictures, and it's like, okay. Even the ones that sit above the regular windows, I think were too high for them.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
I guess they just don't wanna do it.
So you lend them a ladder?
Yeah, of course, but
They must all be afraid of heights.
I think they were called New Hampshire window shades or something, so.
There's gotta be another
We'll go back to
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
I was thinking that, I didn't want to say,
Yeah.
didn't want to say, but that was my thought.
Yeah.
All right. Start again.
Yep. So Lions Club is back tomorrow, 9 to 10.
Nice.
Yep.
Can't make that announcement tonight, it's town meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 8 to 10.
We can make
Yeah.
it now, what is they're coming back for?
Pancake
Pancake breakfast, 8 to 10 a.m.
On
Tomorrow.
Wednesdays? Is that gonna be a
No,
regular
the
thing?
second Wednesday of each month.
Yeah.
Second Wednesday of each month, now we'll have pancake breakfast again.
Yeah, that's what we used to do, so it's the
Yeah.
same schedule as before, yeah.
And you can get it to go too, so.
Oh, that's
Ready
cool.
to go?
$3, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do that.
No,
They deliver?
no. You just got them back here.
She's looking forward.
All right.
November 15th, we have a Make a Tootsie Roll wreath with Barbara, and that is pretty much full. I think there's one spot left. November 15th, again, AARP, 6 Pillars of Brain Health. November 18th, Natural Arts Healing Seminar. November 22nd, the Historical Society will be here with a historical reenactor and do a program on Susan B. Anthony. And the Historical Society told me that one of the classes from Lunenburg High School will be attending also. So there'll be 20 students here
Nice.
to see this.
Nice.
So we can knock off intergenerational programs too with that too, so terrific, terrific. We are closed on the 28th and the 29th for Thanksgiving. We have Creek Alley returning on December 2nd here. which is a Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Everybody loved them the last time, and they're really, really good. Excuse me. And this year, the holiday luncheon is early because the caterer was already booked back in like September, August when I tried to get them. And that was the earliest date that was the date I could do. So that's a Thursday, and the tickets for that are $15, and the Eagle House supporters are offsetting the rest of it.
So sign up for that. It's always a good time.
You
It's-
purchase a
it's
ticket for
delicious.
that, yeah.
Okay, so we already talked about the Eagle House supporters. Any other notices, communications? Any other board comment? That's BOARD. All right. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are officially adjourned at 10:40. If you want to stay behind and talk about what we're going to do for the holiday party, please do.